Hello, this is Dr. Shemin Balachandran Nair. Welcome to Museum Talkies International Film Festival. Today with us we have Mr. Sijo Kuriakose, who is the writer and producer of Yaadumaagi Ninrai, which won Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress award at the edition 1 of our film festival. Welcome, sir. I would start by asking you, why Yaadumaagi Ninrai? Why a film connected to domestic abuse?
So what happened was, we had several stories we were discussing, and when we were discussing this particular subject, I got two questions from who I pitched the movie to, right? And I was discussing this with my friends, and some of these questions were really astonishing. One question was, what is wrong in hitting the wife? Isn't wife the property of the husband? And I was astonished by that question. And the second was, when the wife was hit by the husband, and the father responds to that, the mother comes and consoles the daughter-in-law, and there was question about that. Why is not the wife or the mother supporting the son who was hit by the father? That shows the attitude we have towards domestic violence and how we take it as a norm across Indian audience, because we are hearing a lot of incidents like this, like Vismaya murder case, and there are several issues I honestly feel that there is a lot of rooms for improvement. And the story originated from when I saw one of my friends' parents who were in their 70s, but when they came and sat in front of me, they were sitting together on a big sofa. Normally you see them separated, right? Yeah. There's 70 plus years old couple, they were sitting together. And then he also said that his father never hit his mom. They had fights, but he never hurt her, or he never did physically abuse her, right? And for him, that was a no. So that was the message we wanted to convey, that the parents control a lot of things. They can set the standards.
The theme of MTF is also filmmakers as an agent of social change. I would really appreciate you for fueling such films, right? In terms of its production aspects. So this has to be the first question, but what is your background and what brought you into
I was in IT. I was an associate director in a multinational company called Verizon. I was into telecom, but as part of my career, communication was very important, and I worked on it, and that helped me to learn the skill of writing. So now once you understand writing, then it's only the subject which changes. So for me, I was doing a lot of writing on technical stuff for the company, but then I thought I can write about non-technical stuff, which is the emotions of people and fiction. So I was working on few subjects, and this is the first opportunity I got to write a script. And actually we did it twice. We shot the first one. We didn't quite like it the way it ended. It was not the production issues, it was more of a story issues. So I thought, okay, let me take a stab at fixing the script. And we actually worked on it, and then we got the final product. And we got an amazing set of actors and crew, and they were more than willing to shoot again. Mm-hmm. And we got the final product.
Usually when somebody is doing their first short film or something, they might not go into a way picking up the professional actors who are
right.
In the industry. What made you did it choose, because especially you, that's why you won in here, because of the performance, and what made you choose professional actors?
So I was doing almost 5 years of study. I'm a big fan of Quentin Tarantino, Dilish Pothan, and Padmarajan, when MT was doing that, sir. So I was studying this material very, very seriously for some time. And to me, there are, if you get the crew right, then your job is very easy. So for me, first thing was I have a story. Now I have to get somebody who looked like the characters. So I had written the whole script, and I had the father character saying that early 40s, happily married, So I had his educational background, everything. For each character, I had the backstory written. And with that story, I approached my friends, who will fill this bill? And that's how, we approached Jeeva Ravi. Then once, he was finalized, then our question was, who would be the next person? So we, came across Lizzie ma'am. So we actually, started from the story, and then we finalized the actors and actresses. And we wanted to make a good movie. I mean, that's something like, come with your attitude, right? When you do something, do it like, give full 100%. So we didn't want to compromise on the quality of the actors, because that's 50% of your job. I think like, half the battle is won if you have the right actors and actresses. And so we saw like a lot of their movies, and we felt that okay, they can pull it off. And we never saw like Ravi sir in this role as an angry father. Same with Lizzie.
No, but that has like multiple layers also. He's a very pleasant, like very romantic person in the
and then like
beginning,
and then like he yeah, I mean that was part of the storytelling, because we wanted like to show their life in the beginning, and which is a heaven for him. And I don't think like we have seen many romance scene between a couple who is in their early 60s or late 50s. Mostly like it is left to like young kids, but like the romance can be in any age, right?
This question might sound a little academic, but like I would like to know about your process of script writing, because you just mentioned about the character details and everything. So how was like the stage of script writing for you? How does it work for you? Like?
So this particular one, like I was pitching for a 15-second video to my friend, and then he connected with like one of the other directors, like Didish, and he said like there is a story behind it. Now, when you say a story, to me like a story should mean something to the people. We should have like some emotions come up in their mind, and then there is like depending on the genre, like there are let me like I'll come to the technical stuff later, but like it all starts with like a incident which touched you. So in this case, what happened was the parents of my friend sitting together, and that was not a normal sight I see every day, and that triggered like the rest of the stuff. And then you think through it, like and then you come across more incidents, and then you see like can I use that incident in this movie? Will it have like the emotional the flow for the movie? And then I like to me like it has to be an experience for the person. So every scene has to have a meaning. Otherwise, I like Padmarajan for that aspect. He is very short and very powerful in his writing. So for me, like movie making was like the script was like that. Like so there were like so many scenes I cut down because that was not necessarily needed for that story, and then I added. So for me, it starts with an incident, and then I look for characters who can fix in, who can give contrast to that scene. So for example, like right now, like we are thinking about like doing a movie on transgenders. So far, like what we have is like somebody gets a call, and then the other side is an old college friend, and they go and meet him, and the friend doesn't know that other guy is a transgender. So that's where like the stuff is. Right now, I can make that friend, the guy who is facing the transgender, a normal IT professional. I can make him a Tamil Brahmin guy, or I can make him a average plumber. Whatever gives the more contrast to that scene, I will pick that. Same thing, like what should be the first time meeting experience? Should it be better if it is in a college? It's a process like where you just try some permutation and combination and reject some permutation and combination. But the ultimate litmus test is whether you like the movie or not. Is it something you like to see, right? And then sometimes like it's just like a dream. I want to see this scene in life, right? Like so that's how I go about it. And then I follow the character a lot. I do like a lot of research. So if it is like a transgender, then I will be like reading a lot of books. I'll try to talk to a few people, things like that. In this case, like I've been married, like so I know like how the relationship is. For example, there is a fighting scene. So the question was like what should trigger that slap from the husband? So for me, I wanted her to take a stand. The daughter-in-law to take a stand, saying that like I can break the glass too. And then so basically like even if like there is a tussle between them, they have their own individual characters. So that's something I try to establish. Each character should have their own voice. You should feel the presence of that character, even if it is like coming for like few seconds.
So that's quite interesting, because that also your process also goes well with what you told me before, because writing is not a talent,
it's a skill.
It's a skill. So I mean, your process itself kind of justify it, right? So
yeah, to me it is a scientific process. Like it can be repeated by anyone. The writing. What is not repeatable is like the experience. So I experiencing like some incidents or like some people that you cannot repeat. That's my personal stuff. Scripting, to me, like the dialogue is the least important. I'm not saying it's not important. To me, like the flow of information, or like the way like this little things like come together, and see 90% of your communication is visual. 90%. So a lot of people give like importance to dialogues. For me, I try to use dialogue only if it is necessary. If I can do like the whole thing visually, I won't have dialogues. So that's my theory about it. So any film is like a way of telling a story visually. So for me, that's the way I think. The story I'll think like in a different way, but when it comes to scripting, I try to see like how can I send this information or send this emotion in a visual way.
Okay. So this is like slightly out of it. So because as we represent, a factor of social change. What change do you really expect in Indian marital relationship, like the husband-wife?
No, domestic violence has to stop. Like there should not. You can argue, you can yell at each other, and all those things happen, right? But like physically assaulting is not a right thing to do. I'm not saying it's only like men doing wife, like sometimes like wife hits men, but like you can, that's not the right way of going it. And here, like even in Vismaya case, right? If the father-in-law, he took a stand and like just controlled the son, it would have been a different story altogether, right? So I think like in our society, like parents also have like a big role to play, and you be the example like you want like your son to be or daughter to be. That's my message actually.
So what it feels to be at Museum Talkies, and what is your personal experience of?
No, this is one thing I noticed is from the start to the end you are like very professional about like the whole process. So it was like seamless, and like the notification and everything was like excellent. And you are like one of the few film festivals where it is actually like aired in front of a theater. And I think like the audience also is like the directors and like the enthusiast about the movies coming back and then watching this film. That's special for us, and for the actors also, like that is something like they really liked. So for me it was a excellent professionally managed film festival.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.